it's nice to sense your emotions pretty clearly and strongly, but emotions like panic, like powerlessness, like anxiety, they fill me up pretty quick, I would say, and I tend to fall into them and identify with them, and they create thought spirals in my head, because sometimes I'm also falling into, and I think we all do that from time to time, into like negative thinking. For me, it's really difficult to just step out of them. But I also do the same thing that you said, like I try to be with myself and focus on myself, stay with myself. It's also what my therapist said so many times, like just stay with yourself and do not try to focus on the other person, because when I dissociate, I am with the other person and I'm not with myself anymore. So I'm seeing life through the expectations and responsibilities from someone else and not through my own eyes. So that's like the thing to switch it in the first step, like just trying to focus on myself. And that's quite difficult. Like, how can you create that awareness in a situation where you are full of the emotion? And being full, like this metaphor of being filled up with an emotion is also, I think, manifested in a biochemical way, because the biochemics did change. And when I feel panic, I am in a different physiological state than when I'm relaxed. So the question, like, to quickly get out of that scenario is, how can I change my biochemics then? And you said you're doing yoga, you're breathing, and that's definitely a good thing. Like, I try to then withdraw a bit, like go out, move my body, trying to change this biochemical state, like doing something that might increase the serotonin back in, right? Because that's related to that as well. Like, I mean, to summarize, that's it. What I also try to do is bring in positive thoughts. And that sounds so stupid, but I really try to focus on pictures, like visualize them. How do I feel when I have a, like, for example, I win a new client, a business, or I have a beautiful moment in a relationship, right, with that person I'm struggling with at the moment. How do I feel then in that scenario? As I do that, trying to stick with these kind of new pictures within myself, and then, really important, trying to move on, because life is always going on and on and on and on and on. When I stay in the present, that doesn't mean I stick to this moment, because this moment I was talking to you like 5 seconds ago is already in the past. So now we have a new moment and a new one and a new one and a new one.
What you're saying about staying in the moment and seeing the changes, I feel like sometimes when we're not in the moment and we're like lost in the thought spirals like you were talking about, and we're stuck in that like concept level of like, I'm overwhelmed, I've got too much to do, I can't do this. We're like putting concepts and like labels on our experience, and then we're like stamping that over each moment, and it's like keeping it the same. And when we like come back to the moment and actually like tune into the body and the feelings and the thoughts and like witness it, we start to see actually it is changing. You see the impermanence and the flow, and then the concepts kind of dissolve away a bit. Like the concept, I see it as like a stamp on each moment that's keeping it fixed. Mm-hmm. And you're just kind of up here and you're just like stamping each moment, and then you're like, I'm overwhelmed, I'm in pain. It's like, actually, like, pause, come back, what's happening in the body. And underneath that stamp you're putting on, there's this whole flowing ocean. And when you can actually like drop below and like start to feel the waves moving, you sense, actually it's changing. And then there's some freedom in that, being with the changes and knowing, this too shall pass. Like this, all states will pass.
Yeah, that's it. That's definitely it. Like, it's that, just this certainty that is always going on, like no matter what. It's always going on.